The entire time I watched this movie, I don't know, maybe it feels like my childhood coming back to me, but I'm sure not the only one who looked at Jim Parsons and thought they were watching Sheldon. Like, right? It can't just be me. Spoiler alert was directed by Michael Showalter. It stars Jim Parsons and Ben Aldridge. And this movie tells the story of two men who meet and they decide that they're going to get together. And along the way, they discover that some of them may have some very weird quirks they wouldn't think about when they entered this relationship. And soon they must deal with parents, family, but one event in particular that comes along later, a diagnosis of a kind, may play into the relationship in a worst possible way. This movie's based primarily on a true story, and it's kind of taken from there, made into a much more comedic rom-com Christmas era film, which I was kind of intrigued by to see because, as I said at the beginning, Jim Parsons I primarily know from Big Bang Theory. I'm not really sure if I've seen him in much else other than that. So seeing him in a movie, I was very excited to go see the film. The movie is kind of fallen into the area of most films that have been coming out this December. It's okay. It's pretty good at best. This movie has some very comedic good moments. Like, there are some very funny jokes in here. The trailer, I think, makes the mistake of accidentally showing some of them, but majority of the jokes have not been entirely spoiled, and I think they play very well in the movie. The banter they have going back and forth between these two is hilarious. I liked it quite a bit. And I think that these two have great chemistry together. They are really good together on screen. Beyond that, though, the movie still doesn't hit any new beats. And it's just kind of a predictable movie that I sat down and watched that felt at times a little melodramatic, and then the other parts of the time got back upbeat and had some funny jokes. The movie is pretty good for me. I had a decent enough time watching it. I don't have much of an urge to revisit the film, but the film doesn't feel like it's in reality enough. The plot is trying to base this off of a true story and make these characters real, but then sometimes plays it out as if it were not actually in reality, which kind of comes across as a weird blend. Jim Parsons, though, as I've said already, is fantastic in here. He is comedically gold and wonderfully sentimental and emotional as always. He does a fantastic job. Ben Aldridge is also in here giving a top-tier performance. Another person here who I've not seen in a film in a while, Sally Fields. I mean, who knew she was in movies? Like, she's not been around for a while, and she gives a very hilarious, heartfelt performance in here, which I was very proud of. To be clear, the strongest point of this movie is chemistry between actors and their ability to create likable presences on screens. That's where all the good stuff lies. And the movie sets up everyone perfectly with fantastically fleshed out characters, which are well-rounded, and they start in one place and they can finish another one in a fun way. The script does a pretty good job at backing it up for the most part when it comes to dialogue, but as for the actual plot, the plot feels more like it's just going from place to place to place to place without anything really connecting other than just these two. There's nothing else that's making this a full-fledged story. There's not, I don't feel like a full story here, which did kind of detract from the experience for me a little bit, but it wasn't too much of a distraction. Overall, like I said, I think there are some issues with this movie, but it's pretty good. If you're into this, because I'm aware this is a film that is going to raise some hairs, it's going to be for some people, not for others. If this is going to be okay with you, I mean, go watch it. You'll probably have a fun time. If this is not your cup of tea, I'm not pushing this on you. Go decide what you want to do. If you don't want to watch it, it's totally fine. That's up to you. This is just my opinion. It doesn't make my opinion right. I think it's a pretty good movie, which did a decent enough job with what it was trying to work with. I'm going to give spoiler alert a 6 out of 10. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see y'all next time.